I thought I'd go live on YouTube again. It's kind of dark now outside. But so I was just going to talk about memory bears and keepsakes, and is it just truly a hobby type of business, or can you actually make money with memory bears? And it's easy to look around and do your research and see how other people are doing their business and think that you can copy what you think they're doing on social media, and then be successful that way. And you really can't be successful if you are trying to copy what you see people doing on the internet. That's one reason why I created keepsakebusinessacademy.com, because it does tell you the business stuff that you need to know. But there are 8 reasons why sewing memory bears is a great idea as a sewing business option. And I can go through this list quickly because I kind of covered it earlier today. But you have the sentimental value, where you provide the customer with emotionally meaningful gifts. You are giving them something tangible to hold on to remember that time in their life, whether it's missing a loved one, maybe they're missing where they grew up, maybe they're married or off to college. You've created that memory, something that's tangible they can hold. Every memory bear, though, is not just for remembering somebody that passed. I think we've just come to know it as memory bears, and as a way to be remembering, a loved one that is no longer with us physically. So there's other meanings for memory bears. There's a keepsake, there's sentimental, memory, and comfort care. So there's at least 4 different terms we could use, but I just kind of used a blanket statement of memory bear. Number 2 is it is a creative outlet. Memory bears it's a very, very creative opportunity for those that can sew. You can just Google memory bears and see just how creative some of these designers are, whether it's the design of the bear itself, the shape and the size, or the add-ons that they do. They can be very, very creative. You can have like just a plain memory bear with like no facial features at all, but then you can have just outrageous, very creative options as well. It is a niche market, which can help you stand out from others in the sewing business field, but it can also be a hindrance, and so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Low overhead costs. You only need a basic sewing machine. You do not need anything fancy, at least not at the beginning, not just getting started. So keep that in mind. If you're saying, well, I only have a basic machine, then that's truly all you need. You don't need the fancy stitches, and it doesn't even actually have to be computerized. So a straight stitch is really all you need. There is a personal fulfillment from creating these, because that the creation provides comfort for others. That can be highly rewarding, and it's just that personal satisfaction. And there's a con to that, so I'll get to that soon. Flexibility. You set your own hours. You can control your own workload. You can make it ideal for a work-life balance. And it's nice because if you still have a day job, whether it's a side hustle, full-time or part-time, you can fit these memory bears into that type of business. Like I said, I do work a full-time day job right now because I'm trying to fund early retirement. So saying that, we'll see how well that goes, right? I'm working on that. And then flexible, the flexibility, we said you can set your own hours, you control your workload. It's a very nice business opportunity. Word of mouth marketing, you can save a lot of money on marketing and advertising, if you can get your happy customers to talk about you and share your business. Some customers are very shy and they don't say things, or they just don't talk to the right people. Remember, memory bears are not for everybody. Even though everybody is touched by the passing of a loved one or friend, not everybody is into having keepsakes made. And then scalability, you can start small and grow your business however you want. You can stay small or whatever. It really truly doesn't matter. There's no stopping you. But there are some cons. And so I didn't talk about the cons earlier, and so I'm going to talk about those now. Sorry, I'm holding my phone to record tonight. I'm not even in my office. Sitting in the front room, trying to get a live in. There's 8 cons I have written down. The emotional strain. It can be emotionally taxing. So make sure you know which customers you want to work with and which ones you can't work with. If there's a certain type of memorial or story of passing or something like that that you just cannot be around, then you don't want to cater to those types of customers. So keep that in mind. Not every customer is going to be the right one for you. And there's a way to say, you just can't take that particular order. There's nice ways of saying that. Number 2, time consuming. Memory bears can be time consuming, and I know that sounds opposite of what I said about flexibility. But when you really sit down to think about that bear that you're making, it does take time. Each bear does take time to make, whether it's a bunny, a bear, a cat, a dog, guinea pig, whatever you're making, there is time. It can be time consuming, which is why you really need to get to know the sewing patterns that you want to use and be able to sew those right up real quick, but do an outstanding job. 3 is inconsistent orders. Yes, there could be downtime in your business if all you're offering is one type of product. If you're offering one size of a memory bear, there is a chance you could see a downtime. Not all the time, not necessarily, but just keep in mind what it is that you want out of this business. Limited market. So this is where I said it's very niche, and that could be a good thing, but the market for memory bears, because it is so niche, you could be limiting your potential customer base if you're comparing that to others in the keepsake business industry. So, keep that in mind. There could be customization challenges. Now, this can be tricky, especially if you're handling a custom or a customer's custom request. Know your limitations. Don't accept an order for customization or personalization if you haven't already practiced it. You want to make sure you've practiced whatever you're comfortable with, and then do it really well, and then accept those orders. Skill dependent. Success in this business heavily depends on your sewing skills, and that can really make it hard for you to delegate or hire help. So you want to decide, do you want to be able to scale your business, or are you happy just being on your own? Let's see, number 7 is marketing difficulties. Advertising and marketing can be very expensive. So you have to go all the way to step 1 and know who your customers are. And the best way to know who your customers are is by knowing what it is that you're comfortable with making. And then number 8 is customer expectations. The emotional attachment to the items being used, the clothes, can lead to high customer expectations, and that can make it difficult to ensure satisfaction. And one way I go through this is I like to send messages and text messages with pictures as I'm creating the keepsake. I want the feedback from the customer. And that does two things. One, it assures that they are taking an active um, role in creating this keepsake. And number two, it's putting their words in writing. And that way you can say, on this date, I sent you this picture of the design and you okayed it, you approved it. And I did what you had asked them. If you don't, hopefully they don't say, they come back and say they don't like it, but sometimes there are customers that just cannot be pleased, and that's because they are looking at other people's products and pictures without realizing the type of fabric that they have sent. So with the keepsakes, when you're upcycling clothes for keepsakes, you have to remember, and your customers need to realize, is that you might have two of the identical t-shirts, but if one is worn out more than the other, the end product is going to be slightly different. If they send you a t-shirt that was lovingly worn and it's stretched out and kind of disfigured already, and it's older and the fabric of it is the fibers are thin, even with your stabilizer, it does affect the end outcome. So obviously you should already know really how well to keep everything looking nice. Use that stabilizer and use your best sewing skills, but they also need to realize that you can only do so much, right? You're not this miracle worker. This is when it helps to have your portfolio, and you kind of explain in the pictures of, this is a shirt you sent me. This is kind of how your product will turn out. They have a before and after. They kind of will have an idea of what really to expect. Keep in mind that you're the driver, you're driving your business. You need to have that CEO hat on at all times. Anytime you're taking orders, remember that you are in charge. It's up to you to do the best communicating that you can with your customer. If you see something's not working out with a customer, just be honest with them. If you have to return the items and their money, then do so. That's why I kind of sift through my orders from my customers first. I ask for pictures of the clothing they're sending, and I ask them very detailed questions, trying to get them to verbally share with me the mental picture that they have for their memory bear. And so after a while, you get really, really good with communicating with your customers. But just know, if you go a day or a customer and one customer doesn't like something, that doesn't mean all of the customers are going to be like that. There are just some individuals that are not satisfied, that are not happy. And that's just how they are in life in general. And you may not know that. But get real good at knowing your customers and what you want from them. Communicate, write down your goals. Definitely follow this channel, subscribe, and watch the videos, because I go through a lot of planning. We're just now towards the end of Q4 for the year of 2024. So today's October 25th. This is 6:38 p.m. Eastern time that I'm going live. You want to have a notebook and start taking down notes and things like that. I have some podcasts on here. I have the Keepsake Business Academy.com with all the classes. So definitely get plugged in. I have a free group, and then I have a group for my paying students. So you want to be active in the community in order to build this business. All right, that's all I have for tonight. I'll talk to you guys later.